Good evening, podium chasers. I hope you are all well. Welcome back. Friday evening. Good evening, Formula Racing League. Hold on, let me just stop that. Okay, we can turn that on. Fantastic. So, welcome everybody. This is Friday. Well, I think we've had a week and a bit's break. Well, not for long though. We're back. So this is the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Friday, Season 4. Which is really exciting. Round 1, this is a 7-race series, and round 1 this evening is from, well, the absolutely legendary Bathurst, which I'm sure is going to bring a lot of thrills and a lot of spills this evening. There's been drama going on all day today, actually, in terms of getting the servers set up. There were some issues. Everybody looked like there was an ham, and now we've obviously managed to get that done, so thank you, Keddy. Probably waking him from his bed. He's had a 14-hour day today flying planes around the place. And actually, if you haven't checked, have a look on our Discord. He actually sent a really cool photo from his cockpit of the plane of Mazzano. It was fantastic. Yeah, so welcome everyone. As you can see, we are in free practice at the moment. Come off that. We're just having a little look down the pit lane. Let's go on board. Let's have a look at Eli. Now, for those of you that did watch last season, it was my debut season on COMMS for the PC, doing it on the PlayStation side for a long time, and we were wondering about Eli or Ellie at the time, whether it was a male or a female, especially given the team name as well, which you can see in the bottom right hand corner, which I won't actually say what that is. You can read that for yourself. And I thought it was Ellie, but it's not. It is Eli, because I said at the last race, I pinged him a DM and said, listen, this is going to sound like a really weird question, but are we masculine or feminine? And he was like, no, I'm a bloke. So there you go, mystery solved. So we've got an epic evening of racing set up at the moment. As I say, we are in free practice. Once free practice is finished, we will move into a 20-minute qualifying session. As you can see on the left-hand side, some of these chaps have got white backgrounds on their numbers, and some have red backgrounds on their numbers, and that basically just states whether they're in the pro class or the am class. So pros have the white background and the amateurs have the red background. How do we decipher or determine who goes where? I hear you ask. Well, quite simple. Before the season starts, we run a hot lap session, and everybody gets to get on there and put in their fastest lap times, and then the powers that be divide everything up, so that we should have, well, similarly placed individuals in each split, which last year was true, apart from 2 individuals actually. So I'm hoping this season is going to be the same. As I say, we have a 7 race series, this one at Bathurst. I'm pretty sure we've got some interesting tracks in there, potentially Monza, Imola, Laguna, Brands, all very, very good technical tracks, which you guys are going to get to enjoy. So before we go any further, what can we expect from this evening? The same as every evening. We're going to obviously run through who is checked in for tonight for this first round. Obviously there's no driver stand-ins or anything like that at the moment. We'll do a full lap guide when we get into qualifying, probably with a pro class. We'll do a lap guide with them today, and then obviously we have a 60-minute race, which is there's going to be some hot individuals this evening, I'm very sure of that. A 60-minute race whereby there is one mandatory stop. Using their evening cubes. Good luck, Michael and Traction. Yeah, Kino's in the live chat. Hello, and as is Fresh Frizzle. All well at this end, chaps. Is the audio okay? I've been playing around with it yet again. I didn't feel last time out it was quite in the sweet spot. So let me know if I need to change anything. But yes, so we'll do the full lap guide, and then in the race, one mandatory stop. No refueling. Okay, so we can't mess about with strategy on that front. This is straight tyres only, so it's going to come down to who manages to get the best, who manages to make the best stop really in terms of time. So we'll just change that camera a little bit there. Do we want that one? Yeah, we'll keep that as it is. So who's doing what at the moment? Okay, so you can see that. So Eli's currently holds the quickest in the first 2 sectors, and then Amir holds the quickest time in sector 3, so not too much between them, which is always good to see. Right, so whilst we're having a little watch, who should we have a look at? So Chris, let's have a look at Mr. Vine. I was in the pits. Is he? Oh no, why is it all white? The other thing that I was looking at earlier on today, when I did the another massive accident. Obviously, Chris won the championship last year. Had the blue Zebra. He was in the Aston last year, and I coined it the blue Zebra. And we've got an all-white car at the moment, which is probably something to do with the livery uploader. So we'll have to check that one out a little bit later on. So if he's not running an all-white car, we need to double check on that. I did fully upload that earlier on today, but you never know. So anyway. Interesting news, guys. Whilst these people are doing their free practice session, I'm sure we're all aware that there's been a new DLC released yesterday in terms of the 3 American tracks. So obviously I decided to buy that straight away, even though I don't really do a lot of racing. I just talk about it. But yeah, I bought that. Some very, very interesting tracks there. But more interestingly, one of our own racers, yeah, Mr. Michael Races, he was online all day yesterday, literally all day, on these American tracks. Got into Dalkin's server, beat him, had a very interesting second race that I watched with him in the rain. Should have beaten him again. Then he jumped into Jardier's server, and well, let's say he's probably made himself known. That's all I'm going to say on that front. He had a very, very good battle with Jardier and a couple of his mates. So let's have a look at who we've got with us. Let's have a look at the AM side of things. So, do you know what? We'd better have a look at it in a slightly different way, because obviously everybody's name is not as it should be on Discord. Sorry, on the Discord, it's got different names on there, isn't it? So Sean's in tonight, Wolfgang Kuhn is in, Scott Brewer, Ryan Blanchett, Yavolton, Rafa, Rattiani, Corrado. Don't know who's Corrado. Don't know. Corrado's in, Terry Williams, Stuart Pryor, Shula, Colin Barrow's in, Cascanova, we'll talk about him in a moment, is in, Lustig, Artem, and Zakdal. That's what I've got in terms of individuals. Let's go down this a little bit more. Let's go on to Zakdal. So that should open that up more. So you can see, so we've got Rattiani there. We've got Den is in the 998. Beamer, Brewer, who we said, Vendershoff is in, Williams, Blanchett, Colin Barrow, Zakdal, Pryor, Gedman, Vapinar, Suresh, Vilms, and Campos. So they're the individuals that have checked in on the AM class. And in terms of the Pro class, let's move up to the top. Okay, so Eli's in, Chris Vining's in, Dipolito, Amir's in, Delatoir, Gardby, Lean Muller, Kerikez, Zucchetti, Pomera, Taylor, Martin, Alfonso, Traction Dave, T-Dave, Vilhine is in, Mr. Races, we need to just move it down there, so 23, so that's Michael. Michael's in as well, then Van Rees is in, Tadima, and, oh, hold on a minute, we've got a new big one, Malat Skovsky. I think I got that one right, Malat Skovsky. So we'll have a look at Michael in his Red Kings Motorsport 91 Beamer as he makes his way round the track. So that's everybody we've got in, so quite a few. It should be very entertaining. Right, so Brizzle is obviously rooting for Grassroots Motorsport. Kino, he will definitely be voting for Red Kings Motorsport. And if any of you are wondering, well, what is all that about? Well, on the console side of things at the moment, not only do you can team up with a buddy, yeah, as a teammate, but we've got overarching teams on the PS4 and PS5, where you know the leaders of those teams have recruited. Who's that flying out? Is that Cascanova? Let me see. What number is that? It's got to be Cass, isn't it? It's flying out the pit lane there. Yeah, overarching teams. So you know, a lot of people have been recruited. So that these teams can have individuals participate and race across all the different nights of the week in all the different competitions, and they will all score points. That is the plan as Michael parks it. Better to park it than than bin it, evidently. So 5 of you are watching at the moment. Right, so there's a Honda going out there. Now, is that Kirikos? No, it's not. Number 17. Right, so Zach Dow's going out. Hexagon Nation is his team. Let's jump on board. Let's have a little look-see. Well, obviously we like the dust there. Let's have a little look and a little feel for what it is actually like to drive around Bathurst. Now, I think certainly when the game came out, Bathurst was it was very much a Marmite type track. Probably put it in the same category as Suzuka. You either loved it or you hated it. And for some people it could be quite intimidating. I think if you spend a little bit of time just getting to understand the nuances of the track, yes, Coops, you could say that about any track, but I think especially this one, because it's so twisty, you've got all the different cambers, you've got all the different balances that are going on within the car. Obviously you need to pay a little bit more attention on this one when you're learning the track, but I think once you've got it nailed, it's a fabulous track. I know Mr. Gedman, he absolutely swears by Bathurst, and it's usually, oh beep, I've just crashed. He'll kill me for saying that, but it is true. It is true. He'll say it tonight. Oh, Brizzle, press the like button. Thank you, mate. And Woodward's in. Hello, mate. Hope you are all well. I did actually watch your late night race back yesterday evening, just to see what was going on the PS4 side, and you boys had a very interesting conversation about RQs and points, and yeah, it was entertaining for about 2 minutes. I thought people were going to virtually kill each other, basically. Right. Let's go on board. Yeah, Cask is it? Yeah, I think this is Cask's first one, Kino. He said earlier on the group chat that he'd literally been spending hours and hours. He was up till 4 AM yesterday trying to get his rig set up. You know, like a kid at Christmas, absolutely could not wait. And he still hasn't finished it yet. So you want to go on with Gedman? Okay, Gedman's in the pits, obviously, because he's listening to this. Go on, Chris, get out. Nah, Briz, he's not even going to go out, I don't think. Although I'm a bit sad. I am a bit sad to see Chris out in the Bentley. I mean, surely his beautiful Porsche should be out right now. But there we go. Right, let's give you guys some actual information, shall we? Right, so Ellie is currently. Let's go there. So Ellie's currently leading. Oh, careful! I tell you what, I'm sure you all saw the little thing I put out on socials earlier. Before every live stream, during the day, I'll always put out a little sort of 10-second sort of teaser, if you like, for the event that's going to happen later on in the evening. And yeah, I mean, I was pretty scared just getting to that point where I took the photo, if I'm honest with you, and I was only doing about 5 miles an hour. But Ellie's showing us how it's done. Sorry, Eli is showing us how it's done at the moment with a 2:990. Is not too shabby. So Chris Vining's currently second in free practice, nearly 7.5 tenths off. That is a big gap there. Dipolito. Now again, if you didn't watch last season, let me give you a little snippet into what happened last year. It was a fantastic season, and I mean absolutely fantastic. Chris Vining won, and Chris, he was very much saying, well, he didn't think, well, you know, I'm lucky to win that and all these bits, but he wasn't lucky to win it because he was absolutely consistent throughout the entire season. Yes, other people had some spills and crashes and, you know, penalties and things like that, but that is racing. And Chris was just really consistent in his Aston last year. Let's see if he can do the same let's see if he can do the same thing in the Mercedes, which is a different beast entirely. Shuffler's in. 30 minutes left to work. Great. Well, what a fantastic time, mate. It looks like we're just about to go into... Oh, hold on a minute, Jeff. Not Colin Barrow, Jeff. Obviously. I just thought I'd say that in case Jeff thought I was talking to him. But I'm not talking to you, Jeff. Right. So, into qualifying we go. So it looks like we're going to have the pros out first then. We were doing the AMS out first last time, but that looks like that's changed. So let's get on board. No, it's not been out yet. Well, okay, that's what I thought. It's normally the AMs go out first. It didn't appear they did because Eli had gone out, but he's obviously gone back into the pits and realised, oops. Right, so anyway, these guys are going to get a quick cycle lap in, and then they're going to start putting the hammer down. So, just to bring you up to speed, so last year in the Pro class, you had Zacchetti, Vining, you had Dipolito. Those guys were just absolutely nose to tail. Delatour was really quick last year. Obviously, Eli extremely fast. I think Alfie Barron, when he joined for a couple of races, just absolutely smashed it. So hopefully he's going to join in this year as well. Amir's ridiculously fast. Traction Dave, in his first few races on PC, coming over from PS5, showed some extremely good pace. So I'm expecting big things out of him. And Michael Races obviously made his debut, and well, you know, sorry to say it, folks, but he is the king on console, and he's trying, I would say successfully, to transfer that over to PC. Oh, Mr. Graham Cobb. Oh, I have not heard a thing out of you for so long. Anyway, how's RHPK going, buddy? Hope it's all going well. Hope you do well tomorrow. Are you there tonight and camping over or not? Let me know. And as for Christopher Shuffler, I'd say a very big welcome to you. Obviously, I heard you chatting away yesterday, getting straight involved with everybody. That's exactly what we want to hear. So, dive in, mate. That's all I'm going to say. Currently 8 watching at the moment. Again, you joining us, this is the first part of qualifying, so we've got a 10-minute session here for the AM class, and then we've then got a 10-minute session for the Pro class as well. So let's see what Mr. P. Dean can do. We should actually probably so Vendeshoff. In the 800 Beamer, let's see, so he's on his run up the hill now, so we will do a full lap guide when we get into the Pro category, not to take anything away from these guys, but I like to do it in the Pros. Must be so tempting to really stamp on that throttle. I mean, you know you can't, and I'm not talking sort of full. Oh, the see, commentator's curse. Sorry about that. He's still going though, so I'm sure this lap isn't going to be his quickest one for Fufzig Racing. David Mayer Zuvendishoff. Yeah, I've been sitting in front of a mirror all day practicing all these names. I keep getting T. Dave wrong. I don't know about that one. In them races, a bit weird. Good to see O'Sullivan in as well. He was really, really quick last year. I keep saying last year. It's not like a whole year, is it, guys? Last season. And was getting quite a bit of bad luck, actually. So it's interesting to see that. So Vendeshoff sets a time with a 2:04.855. So that gives everybody something to shoot for at the moment. Blanchett puts his time in, so he's only 3200ths down, and then Pryor, here we go, so they're starting to all come through now. We should have stayed on Mr. Dean, shouldn't we? With a 2:03.630. interestingly, right, Tenariello here in the number 7 Mercedes, well, I mean, you can see that time yourself is absolutely exactly the same as Mr. Dean there in the 998 Beamer, so a 203.630. I absolutely love it when there is not even a millisecond, a thousandth between these guys. But Campos decides, well, you know what, I could do a little bit quicker than that, and that isn't a little bit quicker, that is massively quicker. 1.265 quicker, so a 202.365. That's currently gone through. But you know what I need to do? You know what I need to do, guys? I need to do this. Because, you know what I've just done there? I've just fallen into the trap. Because obviously... Oh, and come on, ladies and gents. Let's have a look at that back, shall we? What happened there? Trying to get past him. Giving him a flash. Nope. Just a big speed differential there. And that is not what you want to see. So, here is the current leader in the AM class. Mr. Campos in the 51 Beamer, so there seems to be a bit of a theme here. Beamer, Merc, Beamer. So what you like on that one. So Dean and Tenariello are both locked in second place at the moment. Then we've got Rattiani in 4th. Suresh is in 5th place. Brewer is 6th. Bendershoff 7th. Blanchett is 8th, 2.5 seconds off the pace. Williams is 9th in the Honda. Colombaro is 10th in his Aston. Then we've got Pryor in the Porsche. Wilms in the Audi, 4 seconds off the pace. Gedman in his Bentley. We'll jump on there in a minute just for Brizzle. Vapinar is he's currently 14th in the pits in his AMG. And Zakdal. Now, there's a name that you guys will know if you were watching last season and not year. You will know the name Zakdal because basically he blitzed it. He absolutely blitzed it. And halfway through the season, him and another chap, Chris Carr, were that far ahead. Chris Carr came up to the Pro class, and I don't believe he's with us for this race. Hopefully he will be for the rest of the season. But Zakdal was just as quick and was always qualifying mid-pack for the Pro guys. So he may be, well, he may have been sitting at the back of that AM pack, but he's not anymore. He's put his Honda up into 2nd place, still half a second behind Rafa Campos here, and his team's called Sofina. Well, that's almost my daughter's name, isn't it? Fantastic. Right, anyway, let's go on to Gedman. I know you guys want to, you want to see all the good stuff, but I have had a request, so I must honour that request. Where is he? There he is. Mr. Gedman, your Volton Motorsport, and I'm not going to say much about that, really, because that evidently wasn't Chris's fault. He came across someone who had evidently got themselves sideways. Anyway, beautiful FRL livery on that Bentley. Chris lives to fight another day. So your leaderboard at the moment, so we've got no change there. In terms of quickest sectors, so Vendershoff's actually quickest. Now Campos is quickest in sectors 2 and 3. Vendershoff is quickest in sector 1. So Zakdal, who's currently sat in 2nd place, is not the quickest in any sector, but obviously he's quick enough to knit those 3 sectors together to have a decent overall lap time, which is what we want to see. So Vendershoff goes P2. Interesting. Right, so where's Dean? Let's have a look at Dean, because he was flying earlier on today. He's just coming across the start-finish line now. Let's see what he can do. Right, we are going to sit on board for a few moments. Very steady, very, very steady as that Beamer. You know, just listening to the engine, there's nothing dramatic. It's not like you're in the Lexus and she's like angry, or you know, you're in the Audi and she's screaming at you. It's just very calm, very methodical, just doing what she needs to do. Stable platform. Again, if any of you watching that haven't actually had a look, please do have a look on my YouTube channel. There is a series on there called COMMS Cars, where I go through each individual car within ACC. Pros and cons, just my own humble opinion on those, but you know, there's a lot of cars out there, and people can get stuck in one car and not know which of the one they might want to try or what the benefits are. So check that out. Yes, Neil, definitely commentator's cuts. We'll try and find him again in a minute and see if we can. Well, we'll see if he's doing anything else. So Zach Dow does what Zach Dow does, and you can see he's just gone to the top of the timing charts with a 2:01.985. Campos is not far behind him, just over a tenth and a half, and then Vendishoff is still in third. Teneriello is fourth still in the number 7 Mercedes, and we're on board with Dean at the moment. Obviously, I'll make sure whether I've pronounced that name correctly or not at the end of the show. So don't shoot me, Mr. Dean. He's just under a second off the pace. And we've got Rattiani in 6th, Brewer 7th, Colin Barrow 8th, Suresh 9th, and Wilms is in 10th place. So Dean does improve, puts himself up into 3rd place. So, and then decides to pull off track, as he should do. So there you have it. I'll just finish those guys off. So they're all in the pit. Suresh is still on the move. What's Suresh up to? Just coming around there now. Okay, we'll finish that up with Suresh, as this is the last one on the AMS, and then we'll jump straight into Di Polito and the Pro Class. Obviously, they're probably more than halfway around the track at the moment. And we can figure out what's going on. Does Suresh improve from 9th? He does, goes to 7th. Well done, you. Excellent effort. Right, on board with Di Polito. So you can see he's just dragging those brakes. Why is he dragging the brakes? Good question. What do you reckon? Answer on a postcard. Probably trying to get some heat into those brakes. Ash is in. Hello, Mr. Wilson. Hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. So this is part 2 of qualifying. And look at that. That is a nice livery on that Porsche, I've got to say. I do like that. We've got another Porsche. We've got lots of Porsches in there. Who's at the top of this pile? So Garby in the 220 Beamer is first out the bag by the look of it. So let's keep a watching brief on him. I was actually really impressed with the way Garby ended last season. Obviously not taking the marbles there on the way up the hill. Probably not the best way to do that, but I was very impressed with him at the end of last season. Let's see if he can continue with that consistency. Oh, steady. That's not the first time we're going to see that happen this evening. We will talk through all of this, evidently. So I was saying before, yeah, look, I got stuck in the cockpit, and that's because obviously on the PS5, the game is still completely bugged. There's no update until the end of September. There's no patch in between that, and this is essentially the view that I have on every stream that I do on the PS5, and I'm actually quite comfortable with it now. Obviously, it's not the best show for you guys, but it's good when we're trying to figure out what the driver's actually up to. You can obviously see those steering wheel movements there at the bottom of the screen as well. So, you know, we can see if the car's behaving or if we're having a real struggle there. So Garby comes down towards the end of the lap now. Penultimate corner here. Just the left-hander to go and then start finish straight. Let's jump into a lap guide, shall we? See what time he sets first though. So Garby sets a, oh wow, that wasn't a massively fast time there. Chris Vining, he decides he's got to go top of the tree at the moment. Right, let's have a look at Chris chasing down, surprisingly, Eli. So we've gone through House Corner, now we're on Mountain Straight, so we're flat down here under the bridge. We need to have the car towards the left of the track. And then you're going to see a bit of asphalt on the left hand side. As soon as we hit that, we're down 2 gears into 3rd. We're going to roll the car in, wait for it to grip up, then we're going to squeeze on the throttle. We're going to use all of that exit curve there, and then we're going to go up into Quarry. There's a gap on the right hand side there. There's your turning point. Hard on the brakes now, down into 1st, trail in, get it tucked in, squeeze on the throttle, keep the car balanced as much as you can. Up through the cutting we go. Is that flat? That was so close. It should be flat, and it was, but wow, I mean, that was code brown for me anyway. So as we're going up through the cutting, keep to the right hand side. We're going to just lift slightly, tuck her in, then we're going to push. Don't push too hard, especially in the murk, and then down towards the S as we go. So down, we're going to drop a gear, and then we're going to drop another gear. There's 8 directional changes in this little part of the track. Okay, then we're going to get straight back onto the throttle through the dipper, and we're going to come up to Forest Elbow in a moment, which is a first gear corner. You can go tight or you can go wide. That will depend on your preference. And then through Forest Elbow now, which is flat. We're on the Conrod straight. Evidently, we're going to go flat. No problems with this. As we come up to the Chase, which is a really quick right-hander. So we're going to veer left, swing right, get it as close as you can. We're looking for about 120 metres, hard on the brakes, down into second, turn her in, carry that speed through, squeeze on the throttle slightly, keep it tight. We're going to go wide a little bit there, and then into Murray's corner. So again, we're looking for around about the 100 mark on the brakes, second gear, get the nose in, squeeze on that throttle, and away we go. You can see fighting that slip angle on the way out. And Chris Vinen is 1.85 pence behind Eli. So those two, well, normal service is resumed for those two individuals. So Amir's in third place at the moment, which is good to see. I was commentating on Amir last year, and I think one of the races he did, he only actually had about 20 minutes to get the car set up, and evidently that race didn't go to plan, which was a shame. But that did affect him, no doubt about that. Another beautiful FRL livery there. And then Dipolito is in 4th place. Garby is currently 5th in class but 6th overall. And you can see Zach Dow, I did say a little bit earlier on, Zach Dow usually qualifies mid-pack for the pros. That is his pace. Campos is obviously a driver of the same ilk there. So Kerriquez is 7th in the class. Then we've got Lee Muller, Alfonso, Delatour, Martin, Manatskovsky, Camara, Mr. Michael Races is currently 14th in class, Taylor's 15th, and then we've got Zucchetti and Dave are a bit further down the field in 19th and 20th in class, but 20th and 21st overall. So I'm expecting those two certainly to push up the field a bit, but it's not a given because everybody's quick. Everybody is quick in here. Hold on. Oh, we've got some stuff going on in the live chat as we watch Amir. Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. So Delatour's in the live chat. Hello, buddy. Hope you're well. Okay, Sullivan. Yeah. No, Ash, it wasn't the best way through the cutting. GT Jamie, no face cam. What do you mean you want a refund? You haven't paid me anything, mate. You're not getting a refund. I can't give you what I don't have. And Amir goes 3rd. Dipolito's currently 4th. He's got in the pits, probably making a slight setup change at the moment. So Eli and Chris are still at it up front. No, I am going to do a face cam. Yep. As you know from on the PS5 side of things, I've had a little bit of artistry done in my comms room. So I just need to sort out, all the overlays and stuff like that. So next week, all you guys will get to see my beautifully rugged, handsome face, as well as my great voice. Your time. Goodman's in. Hello. Trotman is in. Hello to you as well, Paul. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't. Well, we were all rooting for you, Chris. We were like, come on. We wanted to see you do a pole lap, and then obviously, there was a car in the way. So that was a little bit unlucky, mate. So, any change at the top of that? No. Vining's in the pits. Setup change. Dipolito, Zachdow still 5th. From the AM class in the middle of the oh dear. Now, that's definitely worth a replay. Well, let's have a look at that. Down through the S's, I did say you've got 8 directional changes around here. Yeah, so I think the braking you saw, I think he took a little bit too much curb, and as he dabbed the brakes there, well, we know what's going to happen in the Ferrari. She's so skittish. She will punish you massively. Yeah, well, I know, Chris, I said pole. I meant, well, I'm not going to say what I mean. Not live on air, but yeah, we thought you'd have a good lap. Let's just say that. If you was in your Porsche, definitely would have been a pole. So there's qualifying finish for that one. And that's it. Qualifying on both sessions is complete. We're in the wait time. So Eli is on pole position. Congratulations for the Pro Class. Chris Vining is going to be in second place. And we've got Gardby and Amir third and fourth. Dipolito fifth. Pretty much this is exactly the same individuals that you saw there last season. Zach Dallin Campos, that is a battle I'm definitely looking forward to in the AM class. And then we've got Alfonso, who I believe is new with us, so welcome Alfonso in 8th. Kerikez 9th, Traction Dave is 10th, Lee Muller 11th, Michael Race is 12th, and then, well, hold on a minute, people are still doing laps. That's not fair, you're going to mess up what I'm trying to say. Lee Muller is 11th, Zucchetti goes 12th, Michael is 13th, Delatour 14th, Martin is 15th, Malakovsky is in 16th place, and we've got Camara 17th, Taylor is 18th, and then we've got a few more of the AM guys that are in there. So that's Dean Vendishoff, Tenariello is 21st, Wilhelm's 22nd, Van Rees is 23rd, Ratiani is 24th, O'Sullivan's 25th, Suresh 26th. And then who else have we got in there? So Brewer's 27th, Columbaro is 28th, Tadima is 29th at the moment, Silvestri is 30th, again a newbie I believe, not had the pleasure, so welcome to you. Vilms is 31st, and there we go, no one wants me to finish that off, so Vilms is 31st, Blanchet's 32nd, Williams 33rd, Pryor's 34th, Gedman's 35th, Kuhn is 36th, Vapinar 37th, and Kudasov is 38th. So that is your starting grid for this first round of our GT3 Friday Championship, which I am very much looking forward to. Right, let's go heli to start, shall we? Yes, we shall. So we can see all the fun and games that are going to happen all the way through the first part of this lap. Everybody piling through quarry, up through the cutting, down through the S's. I love the S's. You've just got to keep that car so balanced. It's really not an easy job to do, but we shall see. So 7 currently watching at the moment. Good evening everybody. You're just about to witness round 1 of season 4 here, GT3 Fridays. Comes by COMMS. If you don't know me, you will. But yeah, I basically do all the comms for FRL on the PS5, on the PS4 very occasionally now, and now on PC. And you'll be pleased to know that from the end of, well, I think in 3 weeks time, I'm just going to be purely on PC, so I'm going to be doing the Super Sprint Tuesdays and the GT3 Fridays. I'd love to do the rookies as well, to watch those individuals come through from rookie to either Sprint or GT3, but you know, my wife will actually decapitate me if I do that, so probably not worth losing my head over, but there we go. Don't be shy. If you want to shout out in the live chat, please do. I'm looking forward to this race. I think Eli and Chris are going to have a fantastic race. I think Amir's going to put a lot of pressure on Gardby. Dipolito, well, his best mate Zucchetti is miles away, so if they end up together in this race, there's something going on there. Kerikez, that is a good qualifying from him. Zach Dallin Campos there, you can see in 6th, 7th and 8th with the red background. They're both in the AM class, so look how well they've qualified. And then we've got Alfonso. I know Traction and Michael will be keen to do something in this race, as they all will. So anybody's guess, 15 seconds, and then we will get our formation lap underway. And I think whilst we're waiting for that to happen, I'd like to direct everybody towards the website, www.formularacing.co.uk. Why would I bother doing that? Why wouldn't you? There's a ton of information on there, information about all of our series on PC, all the one-off events, the charity events that happen on there, the big endurance events that happen on there, and how you can register for those. Some really exciting ones coming up in the next couple of months. We've obviously got the 3 different seasons over here at the moment. You've got all the PS4 stuff, all the PS5 stuff, Patreon setups, the app. Obviously we've got our own FRL app, which everyone donates setups onto out of the love of their own heart, which you can all access. You know, that we put a lot back out there, and obviously you've got the merch shop. You need to have a look at the shop. I had a beautiful hoodie turn up today, courtesy of Daz Parker, so get in touch with him, and yeah, that was really kind of him to send that through actually. So yeah, have a look at that. It's all good stuff, plenty to keep you all entertained. So what's going to happen? Predictions. I'm going to the live chat. Anybody in there is going to give me a prediction? Let's have a look. Gedman for the win. No, I'm joking. No one said that. You never know. Chris in that Bentley is very, he's very consistent these days in that Bentley. He really is. So we're just in the formation lap for the 9 that are watching. If you've just joined us, if you haven't watched the channel before, I'm going to say a big hello and welcome. I'm COMMS by Coops, and we've done lap guides, we've looked at the drivers, we've discussed many things, and now we're ready for some real action this evening, racing wise, of course. And you'll all get used to my amazing humour as well, as the PS5 guys will testify to. It is side-splittingly hilarious. Right, so Eli and Chris need to swap positions, one does believe now. Red Kings for podium, says Skaz. Maybe? Don't know, mate. Don't know. This is a pretty stacked grid from being involved with it last year. Pretty stacked grid, so we shall see. Right, who's fine? And beautiful cars. Look at them winding their way down the S's. Well, those brakes, boys. Let's get some heat generated into those tyres, into those brake ducts. We all know the tyre model on the PC is vastly different to PS5 at the moment still. You really have to look after those tyres. One thing they don't need to worry about is fuel. Obviously, for their mandatory pit stop, they don't need to take any fuel on. We know they need to do a mandatory stop because they've all got a gold 1 next to their number, and when they've completed that stop, that will go green, and then we know they're good to go until the end of the race. So there may be some fuel management going on during the race in terms of changing the maps, but who knows? Not a fan of that one. Like that one. Love that one. Oh, he doesn't like that one. So he's shaking his... No. Fair enough. Alright, fair enough. I'll get off. Right, so I think it's about time they all formed up. Noah's Ark-esque 2x2. Let's get in line, boys. Let's get in formation. Let's get this 60-minute race underway. I'm going to time this because of the way I've got the screen set up. I can't see the time out, which isn't the best thing to do, but there you go. It will be a 10-minute pit window, actually, as well. Okay, so up towards Murray's Corner then. Here we go, ladies and gents. Formula Racing League GT3 Friday, Season 4, Race 1 is about to get underway. Pro and AM Class Championships up for grabs, remember, and we are green, we are go. So Eli looks like he's got a good start there. Chris has got a good start as well. Garby, wow, I thought Garby was going to actually just touch there, but they didn't, which is probably a pretty good thing actually, as we can see them all piling through at the back there. Someone's got turned around. That looks like a Red Kings Motorsport Ferrari potentially. Maybe Chris Gedman, not saying he was involved with that, but it did look like an FRL liveried Bentley, just managing to duck out the way. So Eli leading, Vinen, then Gardby, Amir, Dipolito, Kerekes were too wide going through there, through the cut-in. Okay, I think, you know what we need to do? We need to go we need to go on board. Let's get in the pack. Dipolito, let's see what it's like. Let's try and feel what these guys are going through at the moment. So we've got full tank of fuel for the race. We've got cold brakes, cold tyres. They're not going to be in the window. Ultra fast people around them. Each car's going to behave differently. So it's not just what you're doing you've got to take into consideration. Look at the sparks flying there as we go down towards the SSO. We've got 1, 2, 3. Look at that. 4, 5. Go on. Punch it. 6. Down the Big Dipper. 7. And then hard on those brakes. So again, the beauty, the absolute beauty of this game is all the different types of cars and how they behave. Yeah, they're all totally different. Not one car behaves the same as another. And so to get them operating in a way where you're moving pretty quickly takes a lot of skill. Takes a hell of a lot of skill. Oh no! So Delatoire's just popped a message in saying that setup reset when they started the formation lap, so is that the DNF button? Oh mate, that is shocking. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that, buddy. And Scazetti said he jinxed it. Yeah, pretty much. I think he did, mate, to be fair. So Amir, it looks like he's just made a move on guard beat, and that move is continuing at the moment. Let's get on board with guard beat. Let's get in there and see. Yep, so you can see he's now facing the back of that Ferrari of Amir, and you can see in the little rear view mirror, well at the top or the bottom there, that we've got Dipolito closing fast, and up front you can see Vining and Eli are absolutely neck and neck as usual. I'm expecting a full 60-minute battle with them as Dipolito takes the inside line there. And then who we've got in the Honda? Kerikes, he's packing a punch in that Honda, isn't he? You saw him there going up the inside of Dipolito, and I thought he was going to try and make a move stick there, but I mean there's not a lot of room for two cars well on this part of the track or on the way down through the S's. So Eli's still leading at the moment. It's got a 4/10 gap over Chris Vining. Amir, as you can see, is just in front of us here, has moved his way up to 3rd place. We're on board with Garby at the moment to go through the S's, so brake, down change, a little bit of brakes, dab. But I think as a track, you can really get into a flow with Bathurst. And I think once you're in that groove, things become a little more metronomic. You can hit those markers. Probably don't want to kiss the wall there. But Kerikes is doing really well. And Campos, actually, that was the battle I was really looking forward to seeing earlier on. The battle between this chap, Campos, and Zakdal, who's in 9th position. They've swapped over, so Campos evidently had a great start there, and he's now chasing down Zakdal. So currently, you've got 1.5 seconds separates 1 and 2, and then we've got a 3-second gap back to Amir. But after that, 7 tenths, 3 tenths, 6.5 tenths. We've got some very, very close racing going on here. And our man Traction Dave, what's he up to? There he is, Traction Dave Academy. Join that if you want. No, Dave's a very, very nice chap. A very nice chap. So he's currently sandwiched. He's in an sandwich at the moment. He's got Campos in front and Zakdal behind him. Got a decent gap behind there, just over 3 seconds. And I'm sure he's looking to tag onto the back of this train as quick as possible. So what else we got going on there? So Martin is in 10th place. Let's just back out of that view for a moment. So a quick rundown of the standings, and then we'll pick some good fights to have a look at. So Martin's 10th. Malatskovsky is 11th at the moment. In fact, that looks like a pretty close battle anyway. So let's have a look at it. Let's get on board. I like this view. Hold on, peeps. This is going to be epic going up and down the hill. So we're on board with the number 15 BMW at the moment. Hard on the brakes there. And who's the... So Zakdal. Zakdal's obviously lost a little bit more time there in his Honda. It's not the car in front, the one in front of that one. Van Ries is in 12th place. Alfonso is 13th. Then we've got Wilhelm's 14th. Tadima's 15th. And then we've got a whole pack. Oh my word. And what happened there? Zakdal went off track. Well, I'll go back to that in a moment. I'm hoping we don't start seeing other cars disappear and there's another kind of server issue. All of our FRL servers got hit on Tuesday. They all just died. 42 minutes into the race. It was annoying really as we're coming down through the S's. So Wilhelm's 14th, Tadima's 15th, Brewer's 16th. get on that power as we go through Forest Elbow there. Rattiani is 17th, Columbare is 18th, Dean's 19th, Vilms is 20th, Tanariello is 21st, and then we've got Taylor, who's in the pro class actually, and the Aston is 22nd. Blanchett is 23rd, Blanchett is 22nd, Kudasov 23rd, Gedwell is 24th. Let's have a look at our Chris. Let's change that view. Thank you very much. This is 4. Fresh drizzle. Is 25th, Michael Races 26th, so it must have been Michael that got caught up in that incident towards the start, although he's just made a move on prior. Vapanar's 27th, Guresh is 28th, Delatwar obviously 29th. I didn't watch it, replay. And as we see, Chris Gedman comes into the corner, thinks he's in a Porsche. Across the grass, spinny spit, and he tried to kill that guy waving a white flag. That wasn't very nice. And then what we got? So Zachdow. Where's Zachdow? In the pits. Well, the pit window is not open, so I'm assuming Zachdow's had a pretty big issue there. We saw him go off track. Vendershoff is still running in 33rd. Silvestri, as you can see, there's also in the pits. And Kuhn is still running, so evidently there are some issues going on. But back at the top, Eli is currently still leading this race. He's pulled a 2.3 second gap over Chris at the moment, and currently holds the fastest lap with a 2:02.570. So 7.5 minutes into the race, just eking out that gap, just putting in those lap times. Chris isn't under massive amounts of pressure. See, Chris is trying to chase him down, so he's got a 2.3 second gap to make up. He's got a 2.1 second gap behind him. Garby's still holding station in 4th, Dipolito 5th. Kerikez, we need to get on board with Traction Dave, because he's looking pretty close. Let's get on board, let's see what Traction can do as he comes up towards the back of the 51 BMW in the M class of Campos. He's having a great race in 7th place at the moment. Punch it, Dave. So into Murray's corner we go. Start finish straight. No change anywhere else at the moment. Just showing his nose into Hull corner. On those brakes, get her tucked in. Then down Mountain Straight, looking to put the pressure on now. It's definitely within the slipstream, so he will be getting some benefit from that. As you can see, the right tucked up behind him. Pulls out to make a move. It looks like, well, he's already got that done, so Traction moves himself up into 7th place as we come up into Quarry, and he can see Campos and Dipolito running a right old scrap in front of him, aren't they? So let's see if he can now catch them up now he's been released. Probably can, up towards the cutting we are. Gap on the right, there's your turning in point, and then on those brakes. He's driving aggressively, but that Porsche seems to be, at this stage, fully under his control. So what's he got? 2.3 seconds. Let's go on board with Kerikez. Him and Dipolito, well, they're going at it, aren't they? No question about that. As the chase begins down the hill. Well, we've got to be in this one for down the hill, haven't we? Anyone getting dizzy? That's not my fault. Look at them. Absolutely going at it. Sparks flying. Absolutely love it. Oh, well, I might as well do some advertising. So, if we Formula Racing League, anybody? No? Nah. It's alright, isn't it? It's not bad. Right. 7 in the live chat. Guys, please do not forget to press like. It means a hell of a lot to me and the channel and FRL in general, if you haven't done it already. We've got some epic battles going on so far this evening. On Helicam. So your top 5, I mean, Amir made a move on Garby for 3rd and 4th place. Dipolito and Kerikez, well, those two, well, Kerikez is evidently standing in for Zucchetti at the moment in terms of what they did last season. Traction's having a very good run. He's got himself up to 7th place. Campos is currently P1 in the AM class in 8th. And then Malatskovsky, well, that's impressive actually. He's up to 9th. Van Ries 10th. Wilhine 11th, and then Brewer is currently 2nd place in the AM class, 12th overall. Colin Barrow's 3rd in the AM class, 13th overall. Then we've got Dean Kudasov, Ratiani. Michael Races is now 16th. We're going to have a look at him in a moment. R. Taylor's got himself a 15-second penalty, which is unfortunate. In 19th, Price 20th, Blanchet's 21st. Sorry, Teneriello's 21st, Blanchet's 22nd, Suresh 23rd currently, and we are 11 minutes into the race. So we can probably expect the pit window to open around about 25 minutes in. So it'll probably run from 25 to 35 minutes, and then that's going to allow people, although the fuel is not an issue because there's no refueling. Who was that? It's Carriquez. Can we get a replay on that? We saw him just get out of shape there. He's going to just clip that curve. He's probably got on the throttle a little bit too early. He's then tried to correct that. You saw the car straighten up. Definitely tried to correct that. And, well, there we go. And Eli sets a new fastest lap of the race with a 2 minutes 2.290. So he's pushing hard. He is pushing really hard. Let's have a look at Michael Races. We haven't looked at Michael yet, and he nearly died then, but he's obviously chasing down Kudasov and Dean, who, as you can see, are just in front of him going down the S's. Now down the Big Dipper. But yeah, so Michael, obviously we don't know what happened to him. We'll find out afterwards, but he's trying to make his way back through the pack. And Chris Gedd went down in 23rd. He's got a 15-second penalty. Now, listen, I know Chris extremely well. I'm part of the admin team within FRL, and he's one of the nicest gents you'll ever meet. He literally works tirelessly. I mean, he stays up till 3 o'clock in the morning to join in with the American servers that we run. Which, you know, and he's still got to get up for work early doors, but he just loves it that much. He just loves getting involved. We saw a little bit of dust being kicked up there, so we've probably had an issue. Kudasov looks like he's actually had an off. We've got a yellow flag by him. Colin Barrow just in front, slow car, so perfect time to jump on, see if Michael could take advantage of that. So bye Aston, I feel, is going to get late on the brakes, just got to hold his line. Nothing at all Colin Barrow can do there. And the chase goes on. So Michael's looking to get the next two clear and then start attacking those individuals in the pro class. And Dave's got himself up to 6. So what's going on there? Someone's dropped out. Any Chris, Amir, Garby, DePolito, Dave, so Carriquez, when he had that incident, I did say there was a yellow flag next to his name, so he's dropped down a couple of positions. Traction Dave finds himself up into 6th place. Good run from you, Traction. Impressed. Yeah, so I was saying, Chris, really nice guy, but he's got a penalty there, and the other chap, as we all know, who does the penalties, who does the live stewarding, is our very own Hangman Dow. That's what we call him, because he is brutal. Not in a bad way. I mean, the rules are the rules, yeah? And if you're going to break the rules, well, you've got to get a pen. Well, what is the point in having them? It's like saying, it's like having a rule saying that all lapped cars should unlap themselves, and the safety car must pit the following lap. I mean, if it's, you know, if you don't have a really solid rule like that, you know, I mean, you wouldn't see anything happening where someone just lets a few cars go. Anyway, that's a different story. Come on, Lewis, British GP this weekend. So Dow's probably sitting there just laughing his head off now, because those two are absolute real life best mates. Dow's just probably like, you can have a penalty, Chris. He probably isn't. He's professional. I mean, I might do it, but there you go. So what are we? We are almost a quarter of the way in this race. So nothing's changed at the top, really. It's as you would expect. So Eli is doing the business. Coming up to lap. Who's coming up to lap then? That's a Honda. Is that Zach Dell? That counts as Zach Dell, I'm assuming. Did have quite a bit of damage there. Let's have a look at Zach Dell. Zach Dell is there. Let's have a look behind Zach. No, so it's not Zach Dell. It's another Honda. So Eli's just doing the job. He's getting that job done. He's just driving really consistently, quickly. Touch wood, no mistakes so far. But as we know, you only need, you don't even need a full mistake on this track. You need a half, a quarter, a smidge of a mistake, which is going to put you into you know, save mode, you're not going to save yourself around here. It's not going to happen. So gap-wise, we've got nearly 3 seconds back to second place. We've got a lot bigger gap then, and so Garby is 8 tenths. Who's Garby? There he is. Garby's 8 tenths. There we go. We see Garby's closer than that. It's now just under half a second. So Garby and Amir have been having this battle all race long actually, and they did swap over a few laps ago. But it would appear now that Garby has got the bit between his teeth and is coming back quite spectacularly. And his team name is IDK. I don't know either. So yeah, imaginative, Melka, imaginative, my friend. Dipolito's in 5th place, Traction Dave still in 6th, as you can see. They're just coming over the brow in the background there, where Dipolito is anyway. And then Campos is still your current race, a little bit out of shape there, your race leader in the AM class, 7th overall. Again, impressive. Where's Mr. Races? Right, he's about to get involved again. He's just made one move stick, as you can see. We joined that just a tad after it had happened. So Michael's moved himself up to 13th now. And Mr. Dean is 1.5 seconds. Or is that Brewer? No, so he's moved up to 12. So Brewer's the next one on the list for Michael, and then he's only got another red one to get past, and he can feel happy with himself that he's with all of his friends in the pro class. See what happens. Yeah, Briz, the USA races are good fun. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's amazing how quickly it's growing over there as well. Big shout there to Georgie Priest and We the Kev for all the hard work those two are putting in there, our admins across the pond. Yeah, full grids. What is it, 3 times a week now? Within a matter of weeks of getting that running properly on the PS5 and the PS4 side of things. So yeah, taking off nicely. And obviously, I'm sure you all have, you know, this down in your diary. Yeah, reminders everywhere that on a Wednesday at 10 p.m. we do the FRL cast, which is where Hangman Dow, Chris, and a special guest. Used to be me and Gamer Dad used to sit in with that, but obviously things, you know, life gets quite busy. This week they're going to announce. They don't know it yet, but obviously this is live on air, so it must be true. They're going to announce the Alien of the Week as COMMS by COMMS. Thank you guys, in recognition of all the amazing sessions I've put on in the last 8 months, 3 or 4 times a week. I think that's really kind of you, so I thank you. I just want to thank my mum and dad, and so keep your eyes out, because if they don't now announce me as Alien of the Week, well, that's really that's mean, isn't it, really? Right, let's get back to the action as Michael's getting ever closer to the back of Brewer. 8 tenths, that's not 8 tenths, that's never 8 tenths. Let's see if we can get it done on this lap. Wow, no need to see if he's going to get it. Whoa, I was going to say Brewer there obviously went on the inside line. And it looked like, I mean, either he broke early out, where I thought he just backed out and thought he was just going to move out of the way and let Michael through, as he's in a different class, probably doesn't want to get caught up with a fight. Brewer's obviously running second at the moment in the M class and has a pretty healthy lead back to Dean. Didn't want to, that's intelligent racing, didn't want to get caught up in a scrap with Michael, because that's just going to lose him time. Yeah, he's thinking about his championship, but then, as they were entering the corner, obviously that concertina effect, I thought there may be a little love tap on Michael's rear quarter, so to speak, and then Traction Dave would be getting all type of jealous. But smart driving, I think, from Brewer there. So he's kept a healthy 2-second lead ahead of Dean, and Colin Barrow's there, is only half a second behind on that. Little looks here. So in terms of close racing at the moment. Garby's half a second behind Amir, that's for 3rd and 4th place. We're currently on board watching Colin Barrow chase down Mr. Dean there in the 998 BMW just in front. You can see Brewer is then just in front of them as well. So we've got some good battles going on here. Everything else seems fairly spaced out. Probably go a bit yeah, everything else is pretty much in hand at the moment. However, this looks interesting, but this is still interesting. These guys, I think they're going to go at this all race long. So we are currently on lap 11, 21 minutes into this race. So probably going to be approaching the pit window within the next 4 to 5 minutes. I don't think the weather's going to play a part today. We've got blue flags being waved now as well. So, you know, I'm sure everybody is aware. Oh, whoa. Okay, well, Garby nearly had a very opportunistic moment there. Delatour has got himself a 15-second penalty as well, down in 19th place. I thought we were going to see a really opportunistic moment there from Garby on Amir, because Amir was obviously trying to get past that back marker who was being blue flagged. And obviously he went left to get past him, had to go back across to the right to take the race in line, and that just, I mean, that left the door open a smidge, and I thought Garby, I don't know, that's his team name, anyway, yeah, I thought he was going to go for it, but Eli sets another fastest lap with no, it's still the fastest lap, I should say, with a 2:02.90, so doing that job very nicely. Traction's quite happy in 6th place at the moment. Ippolito is still in 5th in that Porsche, but you can clearly see these two have moved away, so they're having a very, very good battle. Pulling away from Ippolito, and Vining in 2nd place is nearly 4.4 tenths behind Eli. These guys are 5 seconds behind, so we'll keep an eye on the delta between Amir in 3rd and Mr. Vining in 2nd place. Yeah, it's 5 seconds at the moment to see if they're actually working with each other or holding each other off. We've definitely got a little battle going on ahead there as well. Kudasov has got himself a 15-second penalty in the 444 Audi, down in 17th place. So Dow's getting a bit busy at the moment, isn't he? Bless him. Right, let's have a look a bit further down the grid. So Wolfgang, Hornet Racing Team, in the 555 Honda, 31, sorry, not 31, 555 Honda there, it's currently running 31st. So it's still running though, you have to finish, that's what we say. Where's Zach Dell? Zach Dell. Any replay for Zach Dell? There is one. And that's always going to happen. Gedman there in the 79 Bentley. He's not having a lucky race at all, is he? So Zach Dell ends up back in the pits, unfortunately. Not for him tonight. Not for him tonight. So that was a very unfortunate incident that just happened there. Tenariello, wow, what about we've got going on here? Let's have a look at this one. So we've got Merc versus Beamer. The efficiency battle, because they're both very efficient cars, obviously. 24 minutes into this race. Oh, was that a little? Oh, there was definitely a little love tap there, a bit of door rubbing there. But hey, Robin is racing, to coin a phrase from a famous movie. Nothing wrong with that. A little bit of a flash from Tenariello to say, I'm not particularly happy with that, mate. If I'm quite honest with you, Ratian. Oh dear. Got a little bit out of shape, managed to collect it, but he's now got Kudasov all over the back of him, who's carrying a 15-second penalty. Kudasov thought, I'm not going to get that move done there's not enough room, so I had to back out slightly, which was wise. Otherwise I think both of them would be having a little chat in the steward's room, to be quite honest with you, as we go down the hill. So Rattiani in 15th, and that Beamer has managed to move away slightly. Colombaro's still keeping Dean company, 7 tenths behind him, and he's still only 6 tenths behind Brewer. But Wilhelm, we're going to change up this one now, because Wilhelm, pit window's opening. There you go, pit window's open. Wow, look at that, 25 minutes into the race. Oh, genius. I'll tell everyone the Euro Million numbers as well if you want, or just send £2 into buymeacoffee.com/comms by Coops, and when there is £170 million in there, I'll give you the numbers. Thanks very much. Garby's still only 4 tenths behind Amir, and that gap between Amir and Vining at the top has come down a smidge, nearly a tenth, so they're not necessarily helping themselves catch the Merc of Vining at the moment. Traction is still running in 6th place, quite happy with that. So Dean, oh, okay, so early pit stoppers. Kerekes is in, Dean is in, Rattiani's in, Tenariello is in, Kudasov is in, obviously he's got a penalty, Delatour is in as well, Pryor, he decides to pit also. So this is where it gets interesting. Are these individuals, I mean, who's running in traffic? We've got Brewer's just done a little, dear Hubalto Corsa, the 224 Ferrari, he's had himself a little moment there. Doesn't look like there was too much damage, but let's just see. She looks a little bit skittish, as you would imagine, on the way up the hill. So yeah, this is when it does get very interesting at this stage, because we've seen a lot of fairly close battles going on so far, and those individuals, are they going to pit and try and get themselves out in some clean air? Now, how do they know they're going to get out in clean air? It's all a bit of a lottery unless they're looking at the map. You would assume, if they know it's a 2-minute lap, you split the lap up into rough sectors, you might be able to quickly work that out in your brain in terms of how it's looking on the map and what time you're going to lose throughout the pits. Who knows? Garby's the first one to blink out the top 5, so he's coming to the pits. Remember, Garby's been stuck behind Amir for quite a while, so I think he's going for an undercut there. Obviously, that elevates Dipolito up, as you can see. Hold on a minute, is that Cat? Amir's behind him. So Amir has lost a place there. Dipolito's moved up to 3rd. We do have a slightly quicker lap from Eli, 2:02.190. I think that's a 10th quicker than the previous quickest one. So Dipolito here in the Formula Racing League Racing Team 68 Porsche finds himself in front of Amir, who is also in the Formula Racing League Racing Team Racing League Team Formula. So good battle between these two. 5 in the live chat at the moment, which is fabulous. Traction's up to 5th. Campos still P1 in the AM class. You could just see it just appears. I mean, the amount of extra road that Dipolito took then in his Porsche. Yeah, let's do that one. We don't need to see FRL. We know it's FRL. Let's get to see it on the deck. It's much more interesting. 28 minutes in. So, Garby is in and out of the pit. My question is, when these two decide to pit, what's going to happen now? Is Dipolito going to pit first? Now he's got some clean air. Or is he going to stay out longer? Is Amir thinking now, well, I've now lost a place to Dipolito. Garby, is he likely to get the undercut done? Depends what traffic he's in, but I'm not going to come off this for a moment. So Amir's now got to think to himself, okay, am I going to lose 2 places in the pit stops? Do I need to get this move done? I'm losing time through every single corner. There's no disrespect to Dipolito, but you would have to say, given the pace so far during this race, and Dipolito pits, as you can see, crosses into the pit lane, so he's decided to go for it. Where is Garby? On those brakes, please. Pit lane camera. Let's have a look at that one. Hello. Nice. Very, very nice indeed. Right, Eli's still out there doing the biz. Don't really need to stick on it, Eli, too much. He's got a 5.6 second lead over Vining, who's now got a almost 8 second lead over Amir due to those pit stop issues, or not issues, because of what's happened with people jumping in the pits. Dipolito's 4th in the pits. Traction Dave is 5th, not pitted as yet. Campos, Malatskovsky is 7th, so moved his work quite nicely. Michael Racing, look at that, he finds himself now up into 8th place. Not bad, Mr. Races, not bad. Dipolito pits as well, so Garby, there you are, mate. I want to see where Garby comes out, and Dipolito is coming out of those pits now. So has Garby managed to keep his place? You can see Dipolito's there at the top of the screen. This is going to be pretty close, but we need to get on board of this one, because obviously Dipolito's just come out the pits. His tyres are not going to be up to pressure and temp at the moment, having just come out. So Garby's going to have extra grip. He's thinking he's going to go around the outside. Dipolito, he's probably not going to be able to brake as late as he normally would do around here, because he won't have the grip, and you can see that move is complete. So Garby has managed to defend and hold on to that position. The real question is, when Amir comes into pit from 3rd place, will Garby have managed to pull off the undercut? And I'd say that move there was really important for that podium position. We'll see how it shakes out. We've got 4 minutes left of the pit window currently, so we've got quite a lot of individuals left to pit. As you can see, Zucchetti's pitted from 11th place. Your top 8, sorry, have not pitted yet. Well, obviously, as I say that, Vining comes into the pit from 1st place. So, and oh, well, you can see Eli definitely had an issue there. Look at the state of that Beamer. She does not look happy. So we've got Vining, Amir, Eli all pitting at the same time. Campos is in. Malatskovsky is in as well. So Traction's decided to run long, and Michael's got to run long. I know exactly what these two are up to. They want coverage on the stream to be in a 1-2. And why not? So, where is our friend Mr. Gardby? 9th place. This is so important. Where is he? There he is. This is so important now because all of the big boys are pitting. Let's go helicam. You might be able to see more. So he's coming in now. So let's have a look. Dipolito's out. Any of those top ones gone green yet? No, they haven't. So Campos is just leaving his pit box, as you can see there at the top of the screen in the pit lane. And Vining and Amir are also just leaving. So it looks like Amir's actually got out. He's properly out, and Vining looks like he hasn't got out yet. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how that shakes out. As your new leader is Traction Dave, or Dave Newham, as I like to say, but obviously he's changed it. So yeah, Traction's leading the race. Congratulations. Let's look at that new leader in his very yellow Porsche. That can't be a proper livery. We need to check that out. And look at that. His best buddy Michael Races is in 2nd place. Red Kings Motorsport. Doing a sterling job, fellas, and coming up towards, who's at 17? Is that Castanova? Well, that's not what I needed to do. So, Sean Suresh in the 23 Ferrari. That's a Red Kings Motorsport livery, although it's TZ Racing. So, see how he gets on. He's about to come in some pressure. So, Afonso comes into the pits from 12th place. And that, I believe, Traction's in the pits now. Michael must follow into the pit, surely. You would have to think. So, that's going to be everybody completed their pit stops. So, the shakeout from all of that, ladies and gents, is pretty interesting. Obviously, Eli had a very comfortable lead in this race, qualified on pole, very comfortable lead, evidently had a crash, because when he came into the pits, that Beamer looked all types of, wow. Greased up is the best way I can describe that, and from the pit stops, Eli's now down in 13th. Place. Obviously that will change. Alfonso's got a stop-go 30-second penalty. That is for speeding in the pit lane. So anyway, yeah. Look at Amir. Traction's on his way out. Michael's on his way out. Amir, is that Dipolito? No. So Gardby finds himself leading the race. Remember, Gardby pitted first out of everybody. And we did say at the start of that he'd been running very, very closely with Amir, which was probably holding him up in terms of pace, just because, you know, you don't, sometimes you can't force a move. Yeah, it's not right if you're running at the same pace. So these two have come out. They're still very close to each other, but it is again back to Gardby and Amir, who were running nose to tail, less than a second between them. They're your new leaders. Chris Vining, who was, remember, also comfortably second, he had a nearly an 8-second gap back to Amir. He's now 5.5 seconds further down the road in 3rd place. Traction Dave, after all of that, finds himself in 4th. Fully in 4th place. Oh, who's that turnaround? That looks like it might have been Suresh or Brewer, who just got turned around then. So, Traction Dave, as you can see, finds himself actually really in 4th place. And the guy in front is none other than Chris Vining. So, it's all going off here. Traction can smell a podium, and I know last... Hold on a minute. Nice. Sorry, I got distracted. Somebody sent me a message of some Woodford Reserve Bourbon and some Coke, saying it's time to celebrate. So, fantastic, celebrate. Don't know why. Anyway, so Dave's in 4th, as you can see. He's going to really want to try and get hold of that podium. Now, I'm not going to put a curse on this, but he's in the Porsche. Oh, I've just done it. And who's that? So Amir's off. Amir's off. You just saw that. So let's get out of this camera quick. So let's have a look at traction coming down there. You're going to see Amir on there. So Amir's had an off there, trying to take too much speed through. Traction's gone through into the podium positions. That is amazing. Well done to you, Traction, at the moment. So Amir's got a lot of work to do. He's dropped down the field a bit further. Campos, remember Campos is in the AM class. Him and Zachdale had an amazing qualifying session. Campos qualified 2nd. He finds himself 4th overall. Undoubtedly first in class. Amir's down into 5th. He's only a 10th behind him though, so he's going to be absolutely desperate, and that's more than a 10th. Manakovsky finds himself up in 16th. Dipolito 16th, 6th. Dipolito's dropped down to 7th. Wow. Pit stops not kind to him. Vilhine 8th. Michael Races 9th after all the pit stops. Remember, he ended up right at the back of the field, so he's had a very good comeback drive this evening in the 91 Beamer. Teneriello finds himself the number 7 Merc 2nd in class for the AMS. Kerikes is 11th, and Eli Poe, who is obviously quite easily on for the win, is now not on for the win. Down in 12th place, Colin Barrow 13th, 3rd in class, so podium potentially for old Jeff there. Dean's 14th, 1.8 behind, and then Brewer still keeping Dean really honest there, only half second between as we watch these two. Sometimes you just watch it, especially from this view, and you just think, I'm talking to the tyres, like, hold on, he's putting so much load and pressure, stress through the chassis, through the tyres of those vehicles. A little love tap to the ball then, that could have been a lot worse as well. So depends on the state of mind now of Ellie. Cascanova, and Mears decides to pit, so obviously picked up a bit of damage there, or is frustrated. We shall see if he comes back out. Anyway, down through the S as we go. We have got 3 all nip and tuck here. Please, guys, please, nobody die. I've got to be quiet. My heart's in my mouth when it gets like this. Move, there you go. Eli makes the move complete. So Kerikes has been dispatched. So Teneriello is the next individual in front in the AMG. I would think, I think you'd be pretty confident of getting that move done eventually. So where do we get to? So Suresh is currently 16th, 9 seconds behind Brewer there. Zucchetti is 17th. One of the probably not a race to forget. Not probably, definitely a race to forget. For Zucchetti, he's normally top 4 material in this field. Kudasov is 18th, and then Rattiani is 19th. Breyer finds himself in 20th place in the 63 Porsche as we come to cross the line again to start our 19th lap of this race. And we are 40 minutes in almost, so 2/3 of the way in. What do we see happening there? There's a decent gap between 1 and 2. You've got a decent gap between 2 and 3. Big gap back to 4 and to 5. So Michael Races looks like he wants to get involved again. This time with Vilheim. So we'll have a look at Michael. Seeing as there's only 8 temps between these two. Let's have a look at this one for a little while. So where else have we got a close battle? So Dean and Brewer in 13th and 14th. There's only 7 temps between them. Ellie, Kerikes, 6 temps. Now Eli, is all over the back of Teneriello in 9th. As we just see what is going to happen with this battle. Vilheim in his Porsche, Michael in his Beamer. 2 massively different cars, and you can see in the background there. Wow. So who is that, actually? I don't know who that one is, actually. Michael's going for a move. Michael's got that move done into the chase. That was very nicely done there. Evidently had some slipstream and used that to good effect, but Wilhein's like, yeah, alright, my Porsche, she's pretty punchy out the corners, so he's looking to put some pressure on now. Michael's not the type of person that's going to get flustered and doesn't. Takes enough curve on the inside and on the outside there. As we start another lap in towards Hull Corner on the brakes, get them turned in, squeeze that throttle on, use all the exit, and then all the way down Mountain Straight in towards the quarry. Let's see if anything can happen into the quarry. We'll watch someone else come through there first. Or someone else completely. Who is that Merc? Is that Tanner? Nah. Can't be. Maybe it is. Who knows? This battle is pretty tasty at the moment. Wowza indeed. So Kerikes has definitely not given up hope of getting that position back. But Teneriello's in the middle of these two. He's making it quite interesting. So Teneriello's running second in the AM class. You know, again, I mentioned it earlier on, what Brewer did earlier on this evening is, I'm not sure it's 100% worth trying to get into a massive fight between two pro drivers. I'm not saying you should be jumping out of the way. You're fighting for position, overall position. So hey, you race. That's what you're here to do. Unless you're getting held up. So Colin Barrow's third in the AM class and is running 12th overall. He's 3 seconds behind Perez at the moment. So if that gap starts to come down, then I think Teneriello needs to do something a bit different. Positional gains. Let's see who's the biggest winner and biggest loser of this race so far. Alexander Malakovsky has moved up 12 places. That's fantastic. So from 17th to 5th so far. Wilhein's moved up 14 places. That is pretty interesting. Colin Barrow's qualified 28, started 28, is up to 12. So that's a 16 place swing. Scott Brewer very similarly 27th in terms of where he started, up 14 places to 13th. Kudasov wins. Kudasov started 38 and is up to 17th, so that's a swing of 21 places. That's pretty impressive. Your biggest loser so far in this race this evening in terms of spaces, so Zach Dell's obviously been in the pits for ages, can't really count him. It would be Amir. I mean, Amir's been running 3rd and 4th the entire race, now finds himself down in 26th place. That's a 22 place drop, unfortunately. And Andre Alex Alfonso, started 24th, started 9th and was 24th, so he's lost 15 places. So, don't be disheartened though, guys. Remember, this is round 1. 6 more to go after this one. Have we got a joint double fastest lap? Where's Mr. Vining? We do. Look at that. I love it. So you've got 2 purples on the number 2 and the number 9. So that's Vining and Poe. They've both done exactly the same time for the fastest lap. 2 minute 01.902. Ridiculous. Fabulous work. So almost 45 minutes in. We've got the last 15 minutes of this race. Where is the push going to come? That's the question. Garby looks pretty secure up top, I've got to say, as we're looking at Eli at the moment. Let's get on board with Dipolito again, because Dipolito is only 6 tenths behind. Well, Maletskovsky's got up to 5th. I'm impressed. Let's get on board with Maletskovsky. Not giving him any time yet today. Let's have a look at the rear view towards Dipolito there. That's impressive. So Traction Dave, he looks pretty secure in 3rd place. That's your 3 podium sitters in the pro class. Campos, who's leading the AM class 4th overall, is 10 seconds further back. So, I mean, that's got to be a pretty big push in the next 15 minutes. Unless anything else happens, evidently. Maletskovsky, first time I've witnessed this chap race. Very impressed. Up to 5th. Dipolito, we know what he's all about. Really quick, really consistent. He's running 6th, as you can see in the FRL livery Porsche just behind us. Oh, that was a if that love tap had been any harder on that wall, I'm thinking Dippolito would have been facing a completely different direction. So he's quite lucky there. But hey, you've got to take risks. You've got to push it. So Michael's got himself up to 7th. That's and there you go, Dippolito again. He's touched the wall. So maybe that challenge is about to end. We don't know if he's done any damage to the car there. Maybe some suspension damage. That looked like quite a side-on bash, if you like. There's that Michael in the background. No, it wasn't Michael in the background. So, Maniskovsky is building a nice little gap now. It's up to 1.3 seconds. We've watched that grow from sort of 6/10 up to that, which is fantastic. So let's get on board with Tenariello, who again is still having this battle at the moment with Kerekes. There's only 4/10 in it. Then there's a fairly big gap, 4.3 seconds gap back to Colombaro. So they don't have anything to worry about behind them. I know there is a car there, but that's not for position. Brewer's still in 13th, Dean's 14th, 1.6 behind. Suresh is still running in 15th place, and then Zucchetti in 16th is under a second behind Suresh. So we've got a move here. It's definitely in the slipstream. Definitely in the slipstream. Oh dear, and evidently we went a little bit too wide there. Yeah, he just missed that break. He wanted that position, didn't he? Definitely wanted that position, but not to be. Couldn't hold on to that one, unfortunately. That was certainly unfortunate. So, we've got some dust being kicked up there as well. I wonder if that was Eli again. So we've got a lot of people racing closely together, as you can see, but they're not all for position at the moment. As we get on board, first time this evening, first time this season with Zucchetti. Absolute monster last year was Zucchetti for Salvuzzo Racing Team, and I'm sure he will be this season as well. Wilms has got himself a penalty from 22nd place, and the 260 Audi's got a 15-second penalty there, which is unfortunate because he's only under 4/10 behind Camara, so he's got a lot of work to do. But so we're on board with Zucchetti. Suresh is 6.5 behind. And there he is. So Dippolito is 1.7 behind, so he's dropped a bit further. I want to see what's the gap between Michael and Dippolito. Let's see if that one's coming down any. Let's have a look at Mr. Brewer. Mr. Brewer finds himself rather close. Let's get in his helmet on his head. Blue flags, a little bit of flashing. Please take notice of me as we come into the chase. Hard on those brakes. Let's get it turned in. We do get it turned in, so this is looking like a pretty nice battle now between Brewer and Colombaro. You've got to remember, this is for the podium in the AM class, yeah? So it doesn't matter they're 11th and 12th is fantastic anyway overall, but they are third and fourth in the AM class, and in front of them is Tenariello, who is second in the AM class. So there's everything's to play for still at the moment. In terms of the pro class, the top three, they all look pretty secure. Campos is nearly 10 seconds down the road from traction, so that doesn't look like it's going to move. Dippolito, Michael races in 7th, is 20 seconds behind Dippolito, so I can't see that one changing too much either. At the moment, this is currently your closest battle on track, so I'm happy to bring this one to you guys. You see some of the awesome driving up and down the hill that we get. Down the hill we go again. Hold on, peeps. See, so tyre wear is not going to be a huge issue, obviously, because they did change pretty much halfway through the race to get a new set of boots on. The big question now, with 9 minutes left of this race almost, is 9 minutes now, is fuel. So, has anybody tried to go a little bit skinny on fuel in the hope that it's going to shave off a few tenths across the laps? And they're going to have to fuel save at the. I mean, they wouldn't want to be fuel saving around here. I know you can make the car pretty wide, but you know this part of the track, you've got some pretty quick sectors, haven't you? So you don't really want to be in a position where you're having to save fuel. As we look back from Columbaro onto Brewer, and that sort of deep, dirty, slow drawl of the Aston. Just over 3 tenths between these two. Fantastic race for the podium in the AM class. Okay, you might think, well, it's the first race, we've got a long way to go in the series. Yeah, that is true, but if you've got a sniff of a podium, you want that podium. Yeah, you want something else to show for that hard work, and third is a lot better than fourth in that respect. So if you look a bit further down the grid from these guys, so Dean is still in 13th, Pericaz is 14th, Zucchetti's got himself at 15th, Suresh down to 16th now. Brian's just made a move on Brettiani for 18th and 19th. Kubasov is holding station in 17th currently. As we see them now fly down the hill. Sparks flying everywhere, and we've got somebody in front of them. Well, if we wanted something a little bit spicy, guys, I think we've got it, because we're watching Columbaro at the moment, and right behind Columbaro is Brewer. But right in front of these two is Teneriello, who had a pretty decent gap. So this is not a battle for third, this is a battle for second, third and fourth, which Christian in the Intercontinental Racing team, oh look at that, Brewer's made a move on Columbaro. That was a fantastic move. We need to go back and have a look at that. Missing because I haven't changed it quick enough. There you go, up the inside, nicely done on the brakes there. Nothing Columbaro could do about that. That was a brave move. He'd maybe been watching him for a few laps to figure out where he was potentially weaker or stronger, but that is going to feel pretty good for Brewer at the moment. Elevates himself onto the podium, up to third place in the AM class. Nothing again has really changed at the top in terms of the Pro Class. It's still Garby leading the way, doing a sterling job up there. Vine in second, Traction's running third, Campos is breezing the AM class at the moment, and Zach Delvey kicking himself, because that could have been an absolutely stonking race between those two. Sets the gauntlet down quite nicely for the rest of the series though. Malatskovsky is 5th still, DiPolito 6th, Michael 7th, Vilhine 8th. Eli is in 9th place. Remember, Eli was leading this race more than comfortably until the pit stops just before that. Evidently had an incident. Maybe him and Vining had a little coming together potentially, although the gap was too big for that. And then we're watching this fight here between Teneriello, Brewer and Columbaro, who's 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the AM class. Dean isn't too far behind either in 13th place, 2.6 seconds as down the hill we go again. You can just see Brewer there is taking a ton more speed through there. Absolute bucket. Well, again, I think Teneriello's having maybe some tyre issues, or maybe having to fuel save, because his pace was a lot quicker a little bit earlier on, further down the grid as we were looking at. So Kudasov is 17th, Pryor is 18th, Taylor is 19th at the moment, all relatively nicely gapped. Rattiani's in 20th, Camara's 21st. Then we've got Alfonso's 22nd, Vilms is 23rd, but carrying a 15-second penalty, and Vilms has just gone off track slightly and is now moving slowly. So is Brewer looking to set up his favourite move again? Not this time round, maybe on the next one. What have we got left? 4.5 minutes. So we've got a few laps left yet. Try and get a move done. Blanchett 24, Amir unfortunately he's running 25th at the moment. Vafanar's 26th. Kuhn is 27th, and Mr. Gedman, there he is, Mr. Gedman, he's still running, and that is the most important thing. And there he is. He's had such an unlucky race so far this evening, Mr. Gedman. Every time I've looked at him, he's been in an incident not of his own making at all, I would say. Both times, well, the two that I've witnessed, not been his fault. But go on, Getters, get that race finished. Get some points on the board, mate. That's all that counts. So, kudos off. Oh, he's had an accident, has he? And he does look like he's had an accident. Oh, he's running out of fuel. Let's get on board and see if we can. Well, he's definitely. He's run out. He's going to run out of fuel. Well, that's a pretty big fall. You know, he was running 5th or 6th, and we were singing his praises a few moments ago, and as you can see now, he's dropped down to 17th. So that is not what he wants. So what does that mean in terms of the rest of the field? Well, Eli's worked his way up to 7th place now. So he's just made a move on Wilhelm, who, as you can see there in the Porsche. See how hard he's working. So Eli's managed to, well, you know, he's certainly rescuing some points, let's put it that way. So Garby's got a 2.3 second lead over Vining in 2nd place. 2.5 minutes left, so maybe 2 more laps. Traction's running 3rd. I'm sure he's going to be desperate to hold on to that podium. You know, it's in a bit of a purple patch at the moment. I think he's got driver of the month, I think. For PC, or driver of the week, certainly. So this one isn't over yet. Dippolito's comfortable in 5th. Michael Races, great comeback from him this evening, finds himself in 6th place currently, and then Eli's in front in 7th. We're on board with Mark Wilhelm at the moment from STHN Racing in the 66 Porsche. So these two are still pushing each other hard. Teneriello is holding on at the moment to 2nd place in the AM class in 9th overall. Brewer's under 4 tenths behind, so I think again we've got to have a look at that one because it's for podium. So Scott Brewer from Auto Corsa, that looks like it's, oh dear, and Teneriello. So leaders on the final lap. It's now or never, ladies and gents. You've got to get these moves done. Wilhelm wants that position back just in front on Eli. That's 4.5 tenths. I don't think that's going to happen. Chris Bynum has closed the gap down to Garby by 4 tenths. It's now 1.9. So I'm going to have a quick look at that in a moment. If that comes down any further, and who's in front? We've got a slow mover in front there. As Brewer's. Well, we know where he likes to make a move. Yeah, we've seen it before. We see it do it on Columbaro. He's 1.4 back now, so he's not going to be able to challenge. Kerekes is under 8 tenths behind Dean, so he might be able to challenge. We've got blue flags being waved. Let's hope this Merc just gets out of the way. We're on a straight. There's no need for that Merc to get involved in anything. And this gives Brewer the toe. This is fantastic because Brewer, if you remember before, he used the move up this part. What's Teneriello's gone defensive. He's just got to go straight past him. He's just going to drive straight past him. No answer whatsoever. No, there is an answer, but I thought that would happen. So Teneriello ended up going really, really deep there to try and hold on with every last sinew in his body. He couldn't do it, and look what's happening there. The Aston of Columbaro, he's made a move up there, and oh my word. So whoever that Merc was, looks like they've just got involved massively. Did that Merc outbrake himself? It did. Oh, and what number is that? That is shocking. That is absolutely shocking. There's no need for that. And then Brewer's got himself all out of shape, as you can imagine, because of what happened there. That is not going to please anyone. Anyway, let's get on board with Garby, as Garby is just about to cross the line. Garby's going to finish. He's going to win the first race of the season. Give him a hand. Well done, Mr. Garby. Malcolm Garby, fantastic race. Played that pit stop beautifully. Yeah, that's it. Get the back end out, dude. You deserve that. Well done. Chris Vining going slowly. He's had a tap, obviously. Look at that bonnet. Chris comes across the line to take second place. Well done to you. And I have to say, what a pleasure to watch Traction Dave come across the line. Well done, Traction, to get third place on the podium. Well done to you, mate. Very, very pleased about that. Campos, look at him. He's going to come first in the AM class. Absolutely faultless drive from Campos in the 51 BMW there. 4th overall. Very, very well deserved. And then we've got Dipolito crosses the line in 5th. Michael Races is going to come across the line in 6th. And then Eli is going to be 7th and Vilheim in 8th place. So let's skip back to this epic battle we're watching between Colombaro, Teneriello, and it was Brewer. And after all those things ended up sorting themselves out, unfortunately with that Merc getting in the way, Colombaro finds himself now in 2nd place in the AM class as we come down towards the chase for the final time. Takes a little bit of curb there, but he keeps it on the track. So Teneriello is only 6 tenths behind. We've got 1 corner to go. Can Colombaro just nail that braking point? No, he's gone a bit deep there. You saw he had a bit of a lock up. You saw the front left lock up, so he's just well done, Jeff. Colombaro takes 2nd place, and Teneriello, fantastic drive for you, 3rd place in class there. And then we had Dean, who finished 4th in class, 11 overall. Kerriquez 12. Zucchetti ended up into 13th. Thank you for the flash indeed, Mr. Dean. Thank you very much. Suresh, as I said, is 14th. Manatskowski has ended up in 15th, which is really unlucky because he had a brilliant race until whatever happened there. Yeah, who is that Merc? Is that Alfonso? Don't know. There's another Merc in there that I want to have a look at. So it was Vapinar who got involved in that issue there with Good Smile Racing. So probably not going to be flavour of the month for what happened there in terms of getting involved in that battle and outbreaking himself and taking out Brewer. I mean, to be fair, Vapinar should have just completely got out of the way. But there we go. That is round 1 completed. So Kudasov 17th, Pryor finished in 18th, Rattiani was 19th, Camara finished in 20th, Alfonso 21st, Taylor finished 22nd, Vilms 23rd, Blanchett 24th, Amir finished 25th. Not happy with that for him. Was running 3rd and 4th until he had an issue. Vapinar, who we're looking at now, is 26th, but obviously got involved with that battle in the AM class. Kun 27th. Chris Gedman finished in 28th. So well done to you, Chris. Delatour, Vendishov, Zach Dow, Silvestri, Van Rees, Padima, Martin, and Lee Muller did not finish the race, unfortunately. So there you go, guys. That was round 1 of season 4 for GT3 Friday at Bathurst. I think you'll agree. Well, that was pretty stellar. Well, I certainly think it was, yeah. Let's return to garage. So let's just have a look at the winning driver. Well, we can't now, can we? But Chris Vining picks up a point, obviously an extra point for getting fastest lap. So well done to you. Congratulations to both podiums. Awesome racing, as always. And I very much look forward to seeing you guys pick this up next Friday. I believe we're at some kind of Temple of Speediness next Friday, aka Imola T1. Please help. But there we go, guys. So, Formula Racing League, round 1, all done. I'll see you all next Friday. Tuesday for PS5, obviously for Taco Tuesdays, round 9. Podcast Wednesday, and then back here on Friday. So thanks for everyone that's watched. Let me have a quick look at the live chat. Gedman says hi, Coops. Yeah, all good. Thanks to everyone that's liked it. I'll see you guys next week. It's been a pleasure. Epic as always. Comms by Coops out.